this is about what does unity actually look like? Not just in conversation, not just in, prayer even. God bless us to walk in unity. No, what is the action of that? What happens when God starts poking at your heart about actually moving and what it is that you keep praying about? And when you start getting those pokes, that's when you have to deal with your own pride.
Sonny Smith here with my guy, Really Real. What's good?
Up,
What's
guy?
good, baby?
You got it?
On the west side.
Yes, sir.
And we got history, bro. We go way back.
A little bit.
We go way back, man. I don't want to date us necessarily, but 25 years.
Some
one of
age
us
on it.
is a former MC, and the other one is still holding it down on the mic, doing his thing. Semi-retired.
A little bit.
Jersey hanging in the rafters.
We
Hall
trying,
of
we
Fame. Detroit
trying.
Hall of Fame for sure.
We trying.
Bro, I am, just blown away by God's grace on your life over the years. I've watched you serve faithfully God's people. I've watched you serve the city well. And I'm excited, bro, to be here with you today. Can you maybe just let the people know why are we gathered here today?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, obviously we are trying to come out of a pandemic. And during that time period with the pandemic, me and you've been spending a lot of time together, talking with some other guys in the city and just bumping thoughts together. We did some awesome stuff in the city, this past summer. And just hearing your heart, man, and what was going on with Detroit Church and some other things. And then what God was doing in me and my family and in our church. Something I have been praying about for some years now, since about 2017. And so it's just time for us, for me particularly, to transition out of the role of being a lead pastor. And what that means, and to do that well, that means us kind of closing our church in order to join with another church, and that church gratefully is Detroit Church. And so, man, I'm excited. It's stupid dope. But to me, the wife, this didn't come lightly. A lot of prayer, a lot of counsel, talking to different people and just seeking instruction. And in our world, when that season is over, you pass a church on to some elder, maybe in your church or a family member, and we didn't have that in place. But what I do have in place is great friends in the city, great people like yourself, great leaders, and man, I could think of nobody better and no church better.
Chill out, man.
Yeah.
So let me say first off rip, I would follow you like anywhere, because I know you are a man of your word, a man of faith.
I go a lot of places.
Let's go. Hey, let's go. But bro, like I'm honored, man. Like I'm really almost lost for words. When you first brought this up, I wanted to be careful because I can go into visionary mode real quick and start thinking about all kind of things. And I wanted to really take some time and pray, talk to my wife about it, and it just began to resonate. Not only the idea of the church was coming together, but you, your family, the people here. There's so much kinship already. So like we can sit around and just crack jokes and laugh. There's already that kind of chemistry, which is important. Now churches, the statistics are crazy about like newer churches that don't make it after a certain amount of time. Like you guys didn't just start and then just like not work out. No, you've been around 15 years. So like why are we doing this?
For me, so we've been in existence. We've moved from Dearborn Heights to downtown Detroit to now the kind of university district, like you said, Hope Village. And we've replanted, kind of rebranded, reconstructed vision and some other things, going from kind of wanting to do more of a popular style of church to actually wanting to be more missional in what we did. But for me, it was all driven by healthy church, man. Like wanting to have healthy church, what that looks like.
Yeah.
And there's some other stuff in there too, but some of it, I've categorized it under 3 things. Some of it, obviously being spiritual, some of it business-wise as far as church things go. And we could talk about that forever. Yeah. And then, some things personal, whether it's, just my kids and time period of, and I don't even have little ones, but I got a big family. And so I'm making sure that I'm, pastoring them in that part of, our life well. Yeah. But from that healthy church, aspect, I think it's just a time period in the world where it's great to be welcoming, it's great to be inviting, it's great to be loving. Yeah. And that's what we have done well as a church. Okay. But I think church now, we have to be more than that. Yeah. Right? We have to be educational, right? We have to be proactive. Yeah. And these are things that we've kind of failed at, that we tried to move in, and whether it was lack of consistency or lack of leadership, we wasn't able to move in a way that we need to. And so we've been what I've called a great Sunday morning ministry. So we do Sunday morning church well, and we do some other little services like that we've done well in the past. But in order to be a church, you got to be able to minister to the whole person well, right? And you got to be able to minister to the whole family well. So,
and you sure, like, you've looked into Detroit church? You've looked into me, you heard me preach, you sure this is okay, man?
That hospital analogy that we've been using, that person that's in your life that you love dearly is sick, and you want to get that person to the help that they need. Yeah. How much more important is it, with our spiritual lives? And I think the church, especially, I won't say especially, but definitely in the urban community, we have to make sure right now, I mean, it was special on just the other day, man, where our young teenagers are dropping out of church left and right, leaving. There's reasons for that. Because we haven't built up healthy, strong churches. And I believe that this is one of the ways that we can do that. And so, it was just us looking at ourselves, being honest, thanking God for the grace that He's given us in this season to lead, and then knowing when it's time to move forward.
Bro. But like, I forget the latest statistic because the number does change and shift. But I've heard like there are as many as 4,500 churches in Detroit. Now, a couple of these West Side streets, like Finkel, Puritan, you right up and down, there's a church. It seems like it's a church on almost every corner.
Yes, sir.
So what you're saying, I think, is going to have great impact for the city. I mean, it takes a lot of humility to do this, bro. What kind of impact do you think this can have in a city like Detroit that has become, it seemed to be on the radar of the, the world, so to speak, especially in Christendom, evangelical church planning, systems and all that, people flocking here to plant churches. And we, this is not like, we're not saying it's a no-fly zone necessarily. Not yet. But it is this sense of like, okay, watch them on the wall. What does it take to be effective as indigenous missionaries in a city like Detroit? Because what you're saying is sometimes it may take, closing up shop, picking up your stuff, teaming with another family, and that's the beauty of what we have in the church. We are one family, same jersey.
Yes, sir.
We've had different names on the back. Now we're putting on the same jersey name in the front and the back in this season. And bro, like, you are modeling something that I really hope that other church planners and pastors can learn from.
So I'm passionate about urban church planning. We both are. What that looks like in a city like Detroit, and maybe to create strong churches, we don't necessarily need, the church planning network to look at the statistical analysis and send a guy in to save us when we have great young men and women that's already in the city, that's been here their whole life, that's called to the place that they were born and raised in, and maybe we can get those church planning networks to come alongside of us with those resources and say that we got great people here, even in forms of education, come alongside of us with that education, and impart into the people that are already here. But in the meantime, maybe what that looks like is, you know, some of us humbling ourselves, dealing with our pride. I talked to a pastor friend of mine, told him what was going on, and he said, you know, the biggest issue you're gonna have with that is guys actually, you know, dealing with their pride and wanting to come off of that throne of being a lead pastor. But I know it's somebody else. I know it's other guys out there that's saying, you know what, me and my bros that's right here, that's all pastors, maybe we need to start praying and fasting about coming together to make more strong, healthy churches within our urban communities so that we serve in the city well.
Bro, I also think that it's an opportunity perhaps for a different model of church than we're used to seeing.
That's it.
You know, like how churches function, how they're ran. You know, in the New Testament, I think we can definitely make a case for shared leadership, you know, functional eldership that's not just like a board of executives, so to speak, that make certain decisions, but caring for the church, teaching, shepherding, leading the church. But bro, that shared leadership thing, man, I think that we're on the, you know, we have an opportunity to really model something that is a lot closer to what we may see in scripture, bro. So tell me this, what can, if you're a member of Hope, you're a member of Detroit Church, like what are your thoughts? What can you expect with this coming together?
Right. For me, it's excitement because, so for years, man, we've been getting questions about the things that we have lacked in, you know, whether it's the consistency in some youth ministries, the consistency in men's and women's ministry, you know, things like that. And we've talked to our church about the excitement that, you know, even I have with my family just to be a church member again and be a part of what I see to be a healthy, striving church, and the excitement, you know, to know that this is a place this is a good hospital. It's ministering to the whole man and to the whole family. And so if you're a part of the Hope, you know, I'm encouraged to, you know, let them know, man, that we going to, you know, kind of the levels that we've always been prayed about or that's been prayed over us. You know, this is all of what God said he was going to do. It's just not the way we necessarily thought, in our flesh or in our thinking, you know. So, yeah, man, come be a part. If you in the Hope, you know, was in the Hope, come be a part. And we've been saying it the last couple months. It was never our vision. It was never our church. It was never our people. And you know, and really want to let people know that, you know, it's a church. It's one body coming together for real and moving in that. But what can we expect, you know, as far as Detroit Church and, you know, if I'm a member there, you know, what that look like?
So you pump the people up, you encourage them. I'm gonna give them a little dose of reality. You can expect it to be messy.
I love it.
You can expect us to struggle. Like two people who love each other, have common interests and vision. You know, it's one thing to date. It's another thing to put that ring on and wake up to that person the next morning. What have I done?
Right.
And I think that this is a beautiful opportunity to grow. We're looking forward to learning from you guys. We need to be mentored in outreach, mentored in effective evangelism, specifically with an urban context. We have the Detroit Church, like God has been faithful to us. God has been good. We have amazing people who love God and I think are ready to serve. But I also think that it's an opportunity for us to grow there and to really be trained and to come behind someone who's already done it. You guys have served not only in this community, but on the north end. I mean, you've been around for a while. So I think we can expect, as we get to know each other, like any new relationships, you know, we go through that season, but we can expect for God to be glorified. We can expect, my prayer is that this partnership will have a marked difference in this neighborhood. Like that's really the goal. We want to see lives impacted, not just you know, for good, although that's important, but ultimately we want to see them meet God.
Yeah, that's
Like
it.
we want to see like household salvation. I'm talking like 1 Corinthians 10,
Yeah,
Cornelius,
Yes, sir.
like breaking through in families,
That's
bro.
it.
Like we want to see, like, God, will you give us a demonstration here in this community of something that you want to do in the entire city?
Yes, sir.
And bro, like this sounds weighty, but what would it look like to put a new face on the church for a community that has not been unchurched as much as we may think, or as much as other cities. I would say mischurched and to some extent de-churched.
Yeah.
But Detroit is a city that's very familiar.
Yes, sir.
Very familiar. So we have an opportunity, bro, I think, man, to demonstrate something. And by God's grace, we're gonna walk together and do that. So,
I love it.
what's next? So we're planning an Easter service. We'll have limited attendance. We'll go through all the safety protocols and all those things. We'll put a link here so that you all can sign up for that. You can RSVP for that. I'm excited about something we have coming up. I can't really say what it is yet, but maybe at the end of this video we'll post an image or flyer and we'll announce exactly what it is. But I'll just say this: you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it. It's going down. We believe that this is like the beginning of something incredible that God is doing with these two families coming together as one.
I think that's, for me, that's kind of what I want to leave people with, Hope Church with. It's official that, you know, if you are part of Hope Church family, that you are now a part of Detroit Church family. And let's make it official. We don't have to do the two name stuff and all of that stuff, like one body, many members, man, for real. And you know.
I'll keep it really simple for you. Our vision is Jesus. Our mission is people.
Yes, that's it.
Let's get it. We together. My guy. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.